Now we can add our image. Import. It should take you to your downloads or your image files. I'm not sure exactly how it will do for you. Don't know what just happened. Oh. Let's just pick a photo. We'll do my sunflowers. And however big it opens is however big it opens, not a big deal. So you can leave it the size it is, click on it, move it around, and you can actually use these arrows to make it bigger, smaller, or whatever, however you want, just to make it big enough so you can work with it. Or you can actually just zoom in on the page, and I'll tell you how to do that. I'm gonna go here to my undo button and just undo that sizing I did. You can actually just on your computer, you can actually just hit plus or minus. It'll zoom in or zoom out. Okay. See? Okay. So if you want to add text or a name or even another image, you need to have your background image first and then add the other layers on top of it. So an example, we have these sunflowers. I want to add a name. I would click on the A, just type name, Jen. Now, I can, if you ever click off the name and you want to edit it, just double click on it and it will take your cursor back to it. Go up here to the left and I can change the font to whatever I want, right? Change the font, can change it to bold, italic, whatever. Then you can click on your select tool and you can make this as big or as small as you want. Change the color down here on the very bottom. All the different colors down here. Can you see that? I'm using my cursor down here. Probably do like, I don't know, yellow or something bright. It's always funny because sometimes you think you know what colors are going to work or something and they just don't. So put your name wherever you want to, right? Okay, you can put it wherever you want to. And then once you have it, you know, you can rotate it like this. Use the rotate button or arrows right here. Or you can select on it, click on it, and then click on it again. And once you click, these are the resize arrows, and then it will turn the rotate arrows. Move this wherever you want to put it on here. Now, very important step. This is not one image yet. If you're done and want to make this all one piece, you can. You would go to Object and then Group or Control G. But if you notice, it still didn't group it all because you didn't select it all. So I know a lot of people just like, I grouped it and it wouldn't work. Well, you still have to select everything. So you can do Control A, you can go to Edit, Select All, or you can left click and just draw an arrow and it will, or not arrow, a box, and it will select everything. Now we can group. And now it's going to make everything one piece because we actually selected everything to group together. So a lot of people will message me, I hit group and it didn't group. Well, you have to select everything also. So now it's one image, right? So let's really quickly undo that. Let's click our undo. Okay. So there we go. Okay, let's undo it a few steps to where we're not grouped anymore. All right, we're not grouped. So let's say we didn't add an image yet, or not an image, we didn't add a text yet. Let's say we get rid of that and we want to add another picture on top of here. So you have to have your first image first, or import your background first, and then you'd import another photo. Just gonna do whatevs. Nothing super special. I don't really have anything. All right, we'll just do 49ers. Go 49ers! Obviously, this is not a good photo to use. Gotta get something that this is my background photo is such a vivid thing. It's going to be hard to get anything to put over that. But just bear with me here, okay? Here we'll do a little splatter. So we can use the arrows to make this smaller to work with, or we can just go right up here and just make something to make it smaller. Just do 6 by 6. Oh no, my picture disappeared. You gotta go find it on the screen sometimes. Okay, so let's say we have our background image and we want to add something else to it. We get this image, we import it, we put it on top, position it wherever the heck you want to put it. And let's say we want to add a name too. We'll do Jen. If I can spell my name right. Oh, got my cursor out of the way. Rude. Jen, select tool. Select tool. Make this bigger. Make it brighter. I'm gonna rotate it maybe. We'll do it this way. Cool. Let's just say that's the image I want to use. Now, select A. Or Control A, it selects all, or you can go to Edit, select all, or you can draw your square on everything and select it all that way. Now we're going to go to Object and Group, and everybody's one big happy family. Gonna zoom out. So now we're just going to click on this, and we're going to rotate it if we need to rotate it. Right, you want to rotate your image wherever you want to rotate it, and then change the size up here. Make sure the lock is undone. Let's do 8.5 by 1. Ooh, 8.5 by 11. And you're going to put it center in this box. And don't go crazy trying to center in this box. You can always snap to the border by hitting this over here. I don't know if you can see. Over here to the right bottom corner, snap to the border. It's a little square or a rectangle, and it will automatically put it border to border for you. How cool is that? There's so many other things we can do to this image right now. We could just print it this way if we want to, or we could select on it and we can go to filters. We can blur the edges. Click live preview before you make the change. But that didn't do anything. Okay. Or we can go to distort. I use distort a lot. I wonder what swirl does. What? Oh my gosh. We'll undo that. Filters. I do torn edges a lot. That's what I do a lot. For when I want to, well, I have an image to make torn edges. So as you can see, it made this other filter outside border thing not a big deal. Anything that's not inside this print box, although won't print though. So just so you know, you might have to readjust your image to fit inside this box, because I'm doing 8.5 by 11, so I know, you know, that I need the whole box full. And if you notice it, like, it won't let me just put it where I want to. It keeps snapping to the border. Just turn that off, and then you can put your image wherever you want to inside that box. If you're filling the whole box and you just don't want to have to fight with getting it border to border, then use the snap tool. Otherwise, turn that snap tool off and just move this how you want to. And I'm doing 8.5 by 11, so I know that I want to have this box full as much as possible. So I would just adjust it to however. Crazy. There you go. And then now I could print. Now, doing that distortion, you'll see it gave you this weird transparent box on the outside. So if you were doing something that you needed a specific measurement and you needed like 4 by 6. Wow, computer. Wow. 4, 5. Okay, we'll do 5 by 6. Weird. Where did my image go? That's okay. We'll just redo it. Undo it. Undo. Oh, the number lock wasn't on. No wonder. All right, so we click on it. We're going to change the. So let's say you needed an actual specific size. Distorting it and having that border around it would actually mess it up, right? Because it's counting part of your measurements as this actual border around it. So this really isn't the size that you need it. So that'd be the only time that you'd really have to mess with it and configure it and try to figure it out. I believe you can get rid of that border. I've never had to because it doesn't bug me, but what? Light eraser? I've never seen that before. That is crazy. Anyways, that's how you can just mess with your photo and make different fun things. I'm just going to redo it all. I'm going to undo all that fun stuff. Got it centered in here how I want it. And then you would go to print. And since this is my colorful sunflower image, I would just make sure I have my printer selected, select the preferences, and then I would go with my colorful flowers presetting that I already have, which I know this is not 8x14, but let's just say it was, and then I would go here and I would select that. And then you'd hit OK and apply and print. And then your print preview box will come up. And it will show. This is why print preview is so important, because without it, you maybe forgot to mirror, or the computer didn't mirror, or you didn't, group everything. It's only going to send to the printer. I mean, anything can happen. This is why you always want to do print preview. So if you're happy with it, print, which I'm not going to because I don't need it. So really quickly, I want to explain the saturation and density thing really fast. So I'm just going to go to my printer settings from the program, but you can actually do it another way. I'm going to actually save a print preference for this. So I'll do 8.5 by 11, keep it as portrait, premium matte, high color, print preview on. This is the same, this is the same. Advance. So let's say I'm having issues with pizza wheels. I'm like, oh, this is driving me crazy. You can actually, if you're on color circle right here, you can change the saturation. You can lower that saturation to say, like, let's say 10, and you change that density to like negative. You want to make it negative, because that way it's not saturating with so much, like, let's just give an example. Say you're printing like all black. It's not saturating with so much black, or it's not making as dense of a color. And what will happen is, when you have a very dense or dark or saturated image, it doesn't dry as fast. So the wheels that are pushing the paper, actually, that go across your paper, the ink is sticking to it because it's not dried yet. So if you change your saturation and your density, it should alleviate that problem. So you can change your density. I usually do like -10, anywhere from -10, so type -10 to -20. It just depends. It just depends. And I change my saturation to just 10. Now, if you use the slide bar option, you'll notice your density option, it disappears. Oh my gosh, where did it go? Not a big deal. So you just exit out of this or cancel out of here, and you would just go here to maintenance and extended settings, and there's your print density right there. And I would change it to -15. Crazy, huh? So I mean, you can just do the density and your color option, or you can go to the extended setting and change it to -15 or negative, whatever you want to use, but you want to do it a negative number. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. I hope it wasn't too ADHD all over the place. Hope I didn't go too fast. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments.